What is phonemic awareness or even phonological awareness? Maybe you have a struggling reader and you've been researching online that you need to figure out this phonemic awareness. Maybe your child's teacher has let you know that that is something that you need to research. Stick around because today I'm going to share with you very simple things you can do to develop your child's phonemic awareness and help them be a better reader. Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Parent Teacher Bridge. Here you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. Well, 2020 has definitely been a year for our children who are attending school. It's been a lot of toss-ups and unpredictable things happening, and maybe in that process, your child has been struggling with the reading process. Maybe you've been told that you need to figure out ways to fill in some gaps that they have in their learning. Today, I'm sharing with you phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. What are those? What do they mean? And what can you do to develop those in your child and make sure they have a solid foundation for reading? Before I get into that, make sure you click like and subscribe on this video so you can be notified each time I upload a video for your child's learning. So let's take a look at a few terms just so that we're all on the same page. A phoneme is actually the smallest unit of sound. So for example, the k sound might be represented several different ways. You might think of the letter C, the letter K, maybe a CK, or maybe even sometimes a CH, like in the word Christmas. The CH would make the K sound, but the K is the actual phoneme. It is the sound, the smallest unit of sound. Also, you have a grapheme, so that has to do with something you're looking at. So for the K sound, you would be looking at a CK. You would be looking at a K or a C. It's not the sound, but it's what you see that represents the sound. Also, you have something called phonemic awareness, and that is your child's ability to hear, identify, and manipulate those individual sounds within words. Just like in the word bat, your child needs to be able to hear B, A, and T. Also, you have something called phonological awareness, which is when your child is identifying and manipulating the different parts of oral language, like syllables and rhyming. So you might ask your child, what rhymes with cat? Is it fat or car? And your child would have to know. Now, on the topic of rhyming, I do have a video all about teaching your child how to rhyme. So I will leave a link for that in the description below. So make sure you check that out after this video. Now, our children learn so much about our language just from us speaking with them, singing with them, and reading to them. And some children just naturally soak it up from being around it. And other children need to explicitly sit down and do some activities to fine-tune these skills and better learn them. Now, I have a free download for you. You're going to want to check that out in the description below. I'll leave a link. And it is for a phonological awareness screener. So there'll be some phonological awareness activities. There'll also be some phonemic awareness activities. So there are 10 different activities. You can call them a game if you even want to do that when you do this with your child. Now, with this screener, this free download, you are going to get a set of directions. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to say as the parent and exactly what you need to do. You just have to find a quiet place without distractions to try it with your child. And it might surprise you. You may have a child that's already reading, but he may be a little bit deficient in one of these areas. And once you hit a snag anywhere in those 10 activities, you can just pause and say, okay, we'll pick this up later. And you will have an idea of the exact type of skill that your child needs more practice in. So let's take a look at what you'll be getting in this free download. So in your download, it's going to come with directions. It's going to tell you about the 10 areas. You're going to do some experiments with words, if words sound alike or not, if they rhyme, taking away syllables, spreading the syllables out in a word, and listening for the different sounds in a word. Like you may have your child say the word stick and then say, now say stick, but take out the t sound. And they would have to really think about that and know that it would be the word sick. But it's going to give you a set of instructions, how to score, when you should stop the test, and in bold, you're going to see the exact words that you need to say as the parent. Now, while you're going through these directions, your child doesn't need to see those. Actually, your child won't see any of this. You will have a score sheet, and you don't want to let your child see this score sheet. But down at the bottom, you'll be able to give the total for each of these 10 activities. Remember, you might be surprised at what you find out that your child knows or doesn't know with some of these activities. And you don't have to do it all at once. In fact, if you start doing it and it's too hard, you need to stop. You can always come back to it later. And even if it's not too hard, if your child is getting too distracted, don't feel like you have to do it all in one sitting. I would just say, do one activity at a time. Don't stop in the middle of an activity. You'll have in each grouping some example ones that you can try with your child where you do give them the correct answer, that it doesn't mess with the score that you are giving them. But there are a few tips that I'll leave at the bottom. Let's go over some of those. Okay, so the first one is be enthusiastic. You can call these games if you want. Listening games if you want. Use the samples that I give you in the directions so the child understands what they're supposed to do each time. Take breaks. Minimize distractions. You don't want to do this with younger siblings or even older siblings around. And make plans to practice the areas that were difficult. So let's look at just some random examples here. We've got phoneme segmentation. So that is when you would tell the child the word past and they need to split it apart. St. And notice, the S and the T aren't exactly together when you do that. So if a child did this, st, that wouldn't be the correct way. So you could work with them on learning to split words apart like that if this were an area in which they struggled. Now, when a child misses about 3 in the same section, you need to stop where you are. You can put this screener away for 3 or 4 weeks and just kind of practice that type of activity. Get some other words that look like those words or rhyme with those words and practice asking your child to do that same sort of activity on those words. And then you can pull out the screener in 3 to 4 weeks and see what happens. But these word manipulation skills and sound manipulation skills that they are using in this screener can really help your child break down and decode or sound the words out when they are reading and really boost their confidence. Remember, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get this free download. And this guide, this free phonological awareness screener, is going to help you have something you can do with your child to see where their gaps are in their learning. But also, I will leave a link in the description for my 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader. These are behaviors that you can change in your child today and see an improvement immediately in their reading. So you're going to want to check that out as well. Remember, you can find the Parent Teacher Bridge on Facebook and Instagram. Click like and subscribe below. And remember, you are your child's most influential teacher.